Teams in real estate.
And I'm Justin, and this is Josh.
No, we're not starting like that.
Yeah, we are.
That's
No,
dumb.
okay, fine.
No.
Fine, then I'm Steve, and this is Carl.
Yeah. All right.
Teams in real estate.
Teams in real estate.
So I guess where do you want to go from that? Are you going to talk about kind of why we're transitioning that way, or just educating maybe people on what that means, or what do you want to talk about first?
Great question. All the above. There are several different, obviously, avenues that we can go and we can talk about this. So why are you seeing the evolution from a single agent into teams, right? Mm-hmm. I have a super, super easy analogy that everyone can understand.
Ooh, I love it. Show me.
Okay. Let's pretend like you personally have tried to build a house.
Okay.
Do you think it's going to be more effective if it's just you? Or do you think if you have a team of people, like a crew, it's going to be easier? It's going to be better?
Well, I think you're probably looking at me thinking that the crew is how I should answer, but I'm pretty amazing, so I'm going to say the crew.
Yes. Now, to be fair,
To be fair.
an individual such as myself, okay, so like we'll use me as an example, okay? So I started off as an individual agent. We've now created a team within the brokerage, but for me, it was an individual agent first. I was doing all the things. I was your Walmart greeter. I was your stalker. I stocked the shelves. I swept the floors. I invoiced. I did all this stuff, right? So that's what a single agent does. So I got to the place where I wanted to start outsourcing some of these things to make me more effective so I could grow easier, more effectively, and better, right? So, like that's when we brought on the admin. So the admin could take care of some of the paperwork, which we all know I'm not great at.
You don't love doing it.
I don't love doing it. I can do it.
Very effectively, we might add.
Yes.
You don't miss things. You
No.
just don't love it.
Yeah. It's just, I don't wake up in the middle of the night and be like, I cannot wait to do some paperwork. That FHA addendum, cannot wait to go get that signed. No, just not me, right? So being able to, I'll give you another example later, but go ahead.
Later.
Well,
I don't know where to go after you say I'll give you another example.
Okay.
So I guess my question, and I'm curious about your perspective, is what do you think the evolution of the brand has gotten to this point? And I guess I don't mean the brand. I think I mean more of the industry. Because what you would have seen, let's say 25 years ago, is probably not a lot of team.
No,
I think it was very much broker and then everybody else. But I think there was also a lot going on behind the curtain when it came to being a broker with multiple agents under you. And all those dynamics have changed so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You look at, let's say, our parents and our parents' parents, right? They are people that they're very, I would say, traditional lives, right? So they wake up in the morning, they go to work, they work all day. Husband comes home, wife has meal prepared. They eat, they watch their movie, read the newspaper, go to bed, do it all the same next day, right? So basically, it's just working yourself to death. You're not having any semblance of a life, like the work-life balance is just not there. And I think a lot of the stuff that we're seeing right now, at least I'm seeing, is the team allows me, Josh Cooper, allows me to have the freedom and the flexibility in my life that I can have a healthy work-life balance.
And I think maybe you saw that 25 years ago from the broker perspective.
Yes.
You had an agent that became a broker.
Mm-hmm.
They had a lot of responsibilities, but then they had the income to hire staffing.
Yes.
And they could step away that way.
Yes.
So now we've transitioned where teams look like mini brokerages almost.
Absolutely. 1,000%.
And I think part of that is transparency through technology.
Mm-hmm.
And transparency in technology has led to transparency in commission wages, which has led to higher competition and higher commissions. So there's a lot that the brokerage can offer us certain things, and RE/MAX gives us great technology to use. But there's so many other third-party venues that individual agents get into. They're not reliant on a single broker to do everything for them. So now it's up to them to build a business, and how do you build support while you bring on a team?
Yeah. Yeah, because our proprietary website and CRM, we were using that when we were with the other brand.
Yeah.
Right. So, like I identified at some point I'm going to make the move to the new brand, but the team's going to stay the same. So the branding of the team is going to stay the same regardless of what national brand that we're with. Right. So being able to do that as an individual agent, I wasn't relying on that brand or this brand's proprietary systems, at least when it comes to that, because I had my own thing. So, like we are acting like a little mini brokerage within whichever brokerage we're with.
Right. And what do you think, if I'm an individual agent and I'm young and I'm new starting, what is my desire to look at a team? Because if I'm looking at a team, we know structure-wise, it doesn't make any sense for the team lead to provide and pay to have a bunch of avenues for them to use as resources if there isn't an income coming back. So I know if I'm joining a brokerage, my income is probably going to be higher as an individual agent versus a team agent. Mm-hmm. So what's the value both ways, and then what's the value to the consumer looking at a team as well?
From the agent's perspective, it's super simple, right? So an individual agent, a new agent coming in the brokers that wants to come to a team, it's like, okay, well, what is that team offering me that I cannot get as an individual agent, right? So individual agent, basically everything's on me. Team agent, I'm having all this stuff provided for me. Hopefully there's coaching, there's mentoring, there's some education when it comes to that. And most new agents, they're in the make money now stage of life, right? So
yeah.
So they get in the business, they got licensed, they have no idea what to do. So they're like, somebody help me. And that's where a team comes into play, right? So if you're on a team that's telling you specifically what to do, how to grow your business and make it a business, not just a hobby, that's going to be super beneficial. So like, that's one of the things that I try to do is, so the team that we're at now, right? So the team we're at, so there's 5 agents, right? Mm-hmm. So there's 5 agents, and the initial why we got buyer's agents in so quickly was because the amount of leads that kept coming in that I could provide to people, right? And just over time, it's kind of developed into some of the coaching, the atmosphere, the things that we have to offer, right? So like we have Zach, our media marketing guy on, here that can help with some of those things. So like being able to create a team and a brokerage that other agents want to be at and they want to be successful at, right? So that's from the agent perspective.
Yeah. Well, I think with an agent too, and it's not just a dollar investment into getting relationships or clients either. Yeah. Because there's been times where we have worked together where it was a personal referral or a personal client of yours that you just couldn't be actively available for because you were busy, and you don't have to turn them away. You don't have to slack on the work you're doing for them. You can allow someone else to do some of your legwork for you. Absolutely. And you can check in every week to make sure that they are being taken care of.
Yes.
And everybody can win on that. 1,000%. It's not just let's pay a lead source company that a new agent can't pay for. Like it's deeper than that. Like your relationship with people that you already have in your sphere can provide leads that are already trusting of the service that you provide, knowing that you're going to manage that and watch over it. And you can still make income while providing an income for another agent as well. Yeah,
I think that's the good thing about the team from the client perspective, right?
Yeah.
It's so, for instance, like last night, I wrote a listing contract, sent it to them to have it signed. I said, hey, our team admin's going to reach out to you this morning and get all these other documents, right? So they're going to get all these documents filled out. She might have spent 30, 45 minutes on the phone getting all these documents filled out, but they know that it's getting filled out, and it's kind of getting them to the point where they can go market ready, right? So it's getting all that information, and from my perspective, that frees me up to go do other things, those money making activities that I can help grow the business as well. Sure. Because I know these people are being taken care of. Now, so in the past, if it wasn't like I'm still doing that and I'm losing that time. So, every minute of the day is worth money, right? So how you manage those things, whether it's we can get into time blocking and all that fun stuff, but how you manage that time, and how you can grow that business effectively if you have the right people in place.
I think so. It took a little bit for me to recognize, and one, it was stubbornness. Two, it was knowing that I was more than capable, but there are a lot of blocks in the way. But when I got to the point where I knew I needed to make a change, like I was willing to change some of my commission structure to join and assist you. But what that allowed us to do together is you and I operate totally differently.
True story.
We are not the same person at all.
Yeah.
And it's kind of fun at times. But I know, like, if you...
This is on video, by the way.
Yeah. If you go to a listing appointment with me, you see the house differently than I do.
Yeah.
If you ask for my opinion on a listing that you have, you know that you are going to hear something totally different than what I'm offering you.
Yeah.
Like, so it's two different ends of the spectrum. But what I was able to do when I was working as an agent on my own within a brokerage is I wasn't in a place where my sphere, where I am currently, knowing that I am not originally from this area and not have been here for a bunch of years, because before I was in real estate, I wasn't even working in this town. So my connections were not in the town in which we serviced, more than likely. So I was able to leverage your relationships to create my own relationships. You were able to take breaks where you needed them, and I could pick up the slack. So from a professional perspective, like, we helped each other a lot, and everybody got to win. Yeah. You know, someone who was doing it part-time and working and doing different things. When your wife calls you 3 times, maybe I should answer one of these times.
You never believe what he did.
So I have a toddler at home. I'm going to bet something involving a diaper has happened in the house. I don't want to share all that fun news, but anyway.
Just put it on speakerphone. That's cool. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that. Dude, you'll be so upset. Don't do it.
Pause. Zach will bring us back in a second.
So going back to that other analogy that I wanted to use, right?
Yeah.
So you as the client, how would you feel if you went to the doctor, right? Obviously, nobody likes going to the doctor.
Not good, because that's why I'm going to the doctor.
Not good.
I'm sorry.
So you go to the doctor, person greets you. It's the doctor. Takes your insurance information. It's the doctor. Takes you back, weighs you, gets your temperature, gets your blood pressure. Doctor. Then sets through, diagnoses you. It's a doctor, obviously. Treats you, doctor. Goes back, sends you the bill, doctor. How would you feel as the client? Like, would you want to continue going to that doctor?
I would. So it's going to depend on a few different things. One, my mind would say, how efficient can the doctor be with making sure that I get the attention I need if he knows in the back of his mind he has to do other tasks?
Yes.
Now, I know that doesn't apply 100% into our field, but I know exactly what you're saying. Like, it is not a distraction from your agent being able to help you to say he has team members. It's making him so he doesn't have to focus on other things and he can put his attention fully on you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the great things that I heard that really stuck with me, and I try to remember this, I try to live by this, is we are shifting from a customer service. So we're no longer the client, the customer does not want good customer service. They don't want customer service. They want a good customer experience.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Now, in that is good customer service, but the overall experience of dealing with our team, or dealing with me, or dealing with you, or whoever.
And that goes to what we've talked about in the past. We've talked about the new age of advertisement and business growth is visibility trumping ability.
Absolutely.
Like, we know of and work with a phenomenal agent that isn't super visible. I'm not super visible, but if we got them more visible, they would appear even better.
Yeah.
Which, in some ways, it's kind of sad because there's like an excellent service out there, but with the way the internet is developed, it's not looking in the phone book and then calling to see who the best person is on the phone. You're just going to go online and, oh, they're super accessible.
Yeah.
They made me feel good. So
absolutely. It's the Starbucks effect, right? So like, I don't drink coffee. Guilty as charged. But
at least they have good hot chocolate for you.
They have great hot chocolate. But a cup of coffee at Starbucks is what, $3?
Let's ask the media guy in the background.
How much is coffee at Starbucks?
Depends on what you want in it.
Well,
No,
$3 for just black.
yeah.
$3 for black coffee.
Okay. So I know for a fact you could go to McDonald's and get it for $1. So assuming it's the same coffee, because I'm sure my coffee people out there will say they're different, whatever. And so you can go to McDonald's and get a $1 coffee, or you can go to Starbucks and enjoy the experience of the barista.
You're paying for a logo.
You're paying for the logo. You're paying for the experience of saying, and the ability to walk around with that Starbucks cup saying, I have a Starbucks coffee, not a McDonald's coffee.
Yep.
In my opinion, and I'm in the minority, I'm sure, it's both coffees. They're both coffee. But I know that person holding the Starbucks cup, they had typically, I'm not saying this is always the case, but typically they have a better experience at Starbucks than they would at McDonald's.
Sure.
McDonald's is very service oriented. Starbucks very experience oriented.
Oh, absolutely. And I think, and not to go in a rabbit hole or anything, but I didn't like it at first, but the way they name their sizes, like just do small, medium, and large. But the beauty of it is they've created like this cult culture based on drink names, and part of that drink name is the size. Yeah. Ask someone what their drink is, and they're not going to say black coffee. They're going to say grande, like medium, black. Like it's created this culture. And so again, it goes back to they're extremely visible because of that, whether they are the best at making coffee or not.
Yeah. What's funny is like I literally drink coffee once in my life, but I know my wife gets a grande no foam skinny caramel latte in the winter. Grande no foam skinny caramel latte.
And the size is part of the name.
Yeah. Sure. It's brilliant from their marketing plan and their strategic development.
Sure.
It's amazing. So
I feel like that got way off of teams.
Yeah, it did.
So how do we bring that back in a way that sounds like we knew exactly where we were going?
So teams in real estate, the best way to look at it, in my opinion, and like I am biased because I've done both, and right now I have a team, right? So a team is going to more effectively help a consumer reach their end goal in the most desirable, pleasurable way. An agent can do it, and agents are doing it everywhere, right?
Yeah. And I never want to speak bad against the new agent that's working on their own.
Absolutely not.
If you are taking the time to take the photos and edit them yourself, it's taking more time, so you're going to do that. But it's okay if you're doing a good job at it. Yeah. If I see the date tag in a blurry photo in the corner, then like, please don't. Or if you see the digital camera tag in a blurry photo in a listing that's $500,000, you're making a commission. Pay someone.
Yeah, we can. Yeah,
like
blooper video on those, Zach. So that's a great idea. But yeah, so I mean, like that's really kind of like the genesis, at least for me, on how we got to a team. There's no right or wrong answer.
I don't think so either.
It just depends on what you're looking for. I know we have a team member, and I won't name names, but this team member as an individual agent did 7 deals one year.
That's true.
And then the next year on the team full time was it 34?
Leveraging the resources that the team provided and probably providing a break for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I got more life. The other agent made a ton more money, and everyone was happy.
I'm that agent, by the way, in case anybody was wondering.
I wasn't going to throw that under the bus, but but using as a team agent, that's normally looked down upon, right? But in today's world, man, it's all about leveraging your resources to be more effective. And if we can provide an opportunity for someone like yourself to do 34 deals, which puts you, 34 deals, you're in the top 3% of agents in the United States. Top 3% of agents in the United States on a team. That's, that's amazing.
Well, I think the team growth is great. And for those very things, I think it takes the opportunity where the team leader is not a selfish individual or a greedy individual. You are providing an opportunity for new people or steady people, if they want, to break into an additional market share with resources And then if they want to, with your help, duplicate your model into their own, that's fine. Because there's always going to be somebody else in there that wants to be in the business that is going to be able to use your resources to better themselves.
Yeah.
It's not, I don't think any agent should look at a team if they're new and they're wondering, well, should I join a team? It's not joining a team member that's going to like hold you down and suppress your growth.
Yeah, no.
If your team member isn't increasing your growth and your productivity so that if you wanted to, you could do something different, then it's the team leader's fault,
team leader.
Not the idea of being on a team.
Correct. Yeah. And and to be fair, like I was a crap team leader at the beginning. And like I'm progressively getting better, thankfully, every day.
Yeah.
There are still times where I struggle tremendously. But we're always, at least
The good
we
news
are.
is you and I complement each other.
Yes, we're getting better. We are definitely getting better. Yeah.
So teams in real estate. The market is moving that way. It's moving that way because of the effort I think it takes to do it, the cost it takes to be in this business, and the support system that you add to each other.
Yep.
So as a consumer, if you see a team, I don't think you should be afraid if your Aunt June, who is going to be your realtor, who's a part of a team, says her team lead is going to help with the listing. I don't think that should scare you off at all. We're all working together. Yeah. So in that sense, consumer and or agent, I think it's a great process, and I think it's growing, and that's why.
Absolutely. And like last thing here, but we'll just say like for that comment there about Aunt June, right? So I am, and like I'll tell like I tell our clients these things. Like if you're looking to buy a house, I can do it and I can do it pretty well, but like
Sure.
But you guys are going to be able to do it far more effectively than I can because my bread and butter, what I know I excel at, is listing and selling and marketing houses.
Well, also, beyond whether you excel at it or not, if that's where you're currently at, to keep your focus in that one area that makes you more successful in that one area.
Yeah.
So I met with, I had a listing contract today. We got it under the resources, but I let them know as I was talking, like, I will be a communication for you, but Josh is going to become your listing representative. So they already know.
That's great information to have.
Yeah, you're welcome. And it was a referral. So it was a personal to me, but I was able to word it in such a way that it's not like, well, I thought I was calling you.
Yeah. That's fair.
All right, podcast over.
Mic drop.